let's do it, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got all day. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate my boy. Hey, bro, what are you doing?
Damn, you gotta know this. You gotta know this.
No, listen,
little rookie, man.
Oh my
I'm about to take over this interview, man. Listen, y'all, what's poppin'? It's your boy Nick Lavelle. All right, I'm tapped in. You feel me? With the sauce. The sauce.
Hey, see, bro, that's that Detroit. You know what
Detroit, we come and take it over.
Hey, man, what's up, city, man? I got the honor of sitting here, man, with the myth, the legend, the entrepreneur of the hour, man, musician of the freaking century, man, Nick Lavelle, man. What's up, man?
What up, dog? What up, dog?
Man, what's good, man? First of all, man, tell me some what up, though, man.
Yeah.
So tell me, bro, the difference between Detroit and living in Atlanta. Like, what's the difference between Detroit and Atlanta?
I like that's a good question. Okay, so
oh, man, this man trying me. Y'all been, you know what I'm saying, been practicing.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you. No, I ain't gonna lie. That's actually a really good question. No one ever asked that.
Yeah.
That was real shit. So, for me, I think Detroit and Atlanta is very similar. I just feel like I feel like this city is obviously the southern version of Detroit. Detroit is real hardcore city. Really, really like it's like gritty. A lot of, you know what I'm saying, like the gangster vibe, real street dude. Not taking that away from Atlanta because I know they just like it, but it's not, I don't know, it's just dope. It's different because it's up north. So you're getting 4 seasons. So you got fur coats, you got the Timbs, you got the snow, you got just the way the highways are designed are different. The culture, the way that the infrastructure of our streets and our neighborhoods are different. Out here, it's a lot more, obviously it's the country. So it's a lot more space, a lot more land. The highways is crazy down here because, you know, y'all got about 10 highways. God damn it. We're surrounded by a major body of water. Like we're on the, like you can see Canada. Okay, like we border Canada, Windsor, Canada. So we're bordering another country. We have a bridge that separates Detroit from downtown Windsor, Canada. So that's like, you know, that's something. I know Atlanta's not surrounded by no major body of water. So I know that's something that's different. The nightlife is different, just in a sense. Like Detroit is really huge with like our street gang, like our street legends, our dope dealers, our scammers. It's similar to Atlanta, but Atlanta is just like, it's a lot more celebrities here, a lot more
Hollywood.
It is, you know what I'm saying, and it's a lot more black-owned businesses down here in Atlanta. We don't get them same opportunities in Michigan because it's still, you know what I'm saying, they still be on, and you'll be surprised because you're like, damn, you're in Georgia. We call it a red state, you know what I'm saying? Fair. And I don't know, these are some of the stuff that I think the food, you know, subjective, you know, depending on what you're looking for. I like the food here, and I like the food in Michigan. You know, I have my go-to restaurants out there in Detroit, and I think it's the same here. I got my go-to food down here, so I would say those are some of the similar.
So I know everybody, you know, tuned in with the music. You know, before I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions about the music, but one thing I want people to know about you is the business side of you, the entrepreneur side. So when you moved to Atlanta, how'd you get involved in, you know, the business side, the entrepreneur side of things?
Yeah, for me, when I first moved out here back in 2019, I came during, I think that was when the Super Bowl was here. So the city was just on fire, man. Everybody was like going out. Everybody was getting ready for the Super Bowl, and the clubs was just, you know, prepping everybody. I've always had the entrepreneur mindset. I went to Western Michigan University. I graduated with a degree in marketing and advertising promotion. So I've always been in that lane. I've always worked retail. I worked for numerous companies from Comcast to Sprint to AT&T. I worked for PNC Bank, Fifth Third. So I learned a lot about business infrastructure.
That's awesome.
So I think that is part of it. And then I come from a scam world. So intertwining scamming with working in actual corporate, you know what I'm saying, jobs, you bring in all the knowledge that you possess over the years together, and then you're applying it everywhere you go. And what I mean by applying it, it's more so that enterprising mindset of figuring out to create a job where there isn't a job. You know, investing the money in the right areas, knowing what to invest in, knowing how to invest, not being afraid to seek knowledge and ask help. You know, and one thing I can say about Atlanta that I don't see in a lot of markets is there's so many people out here moving around. You could just ask me like, damn, man, what you do? You know what I'm saying? You see them driving a Lamb truck, or you see somebody in a G-Wag.
Sure. Like, everybody got, you know what I'm saying, G-Wags out here.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And no one has any issue. Like, that's one thing I can say. You know what I'm saying? From jewelry to studios to cars to houses, there's somebody that looks like you that has, you know, that's obtained this stuff. And I think that's a lot to do with a lot of shit where people feel more comfortable and more receptive to ask somebody that looks like them, how did you get that? And when you see it, it's motivation for you. Like, damn, if he can get that, not saying that if he can get it, I can get it, but more so, I know it's obtainable. So I came down here with that mindset, and me and my guys, we all came down here and we said, you know, we're going to lock in, we're going to chase our dreams. Everybody had different goals. You know, one of my partners, he was a tattoo artist, and he, you know, we all was promoters. So we wanted to get down here in the nightlife. I was obviously an artist, so I wanted to chase my dreams. I wanted to get around more like-minded artists because Detroit didn't have a major R&B scene. And Atlanta just has a major music scene where you don't necessarily have to be an R&B artist or anything, but you could just fall in the same rooms. And I seen that happen numerous of times, just being at studios. And, you know, like yourself, you worked for a lot of the bigger studios in Atlanta. You've been in situations where you've seen people being at the right place at the right time. You'll fall into a session, lay a hook, boom, now you on some shit.
Position is important, man.
And I think that's what Atlanta does. Atlanta allows you to position yourself way faster than a lot of other cities. So coming down here, you know, I knew I wanted to get into real estate. I knew that I wanted to, you know, own several businesses. I knew I wanted to take my company, True Colors Entertainment, to another level and expand and building relationships with party promoters here, club owners, and, you know, different, you know, individuals who possess a similar mindset. I felt I was going to get some of the things that I wanted to do accomplished.
Okay. How would you tell, just like how you say position, what would be your advice for someone that's moving to a major city? Like, what's the key thing they need to do to put themselves in position for those opportunities?
All right. So for me, I think the first thing you gotta do, you gotta identify what's your purpose. All right. What is the goal? You know, you gotta really come up with a plan. I map shit out 6 months to 12 months at a time. Like I said, all right, cool. I know by this time I want to have this event prospering. I want to have this going. I want to do this. And you got to just figure out things that you know that's generating income. So what are you doing right now that's generating income? How do you go to another city and position yourself to do that? So does that include you running ads before you get there? Does that include you building a clientele base, visiting that space, figuring out which area you're going to be located? How close to everything are you going to be where you're stationed? Where's your location going to be? You know, location is very huge, especially in a major city. Also, credit. Making sure your credit is right. I tell people, before you make any major move in general when it comes to chasing a dream, starting a business, try to get your credit right. And if people don't realize, if you don't have credit, then it's easier to build credit. If you have messed your credit up, then you got to get in contact with somebody that can help build it. People think you're going to go 10, 15 years in life and you're just not going to do nothing. It's not going anywhere. All right? You got to address this, rather sooner than later. We run into all type of money in all type of crazy scenarios. During the pandemic, everybody should have been getting their credit right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but it's just crazy. People just going crazy.
Man.
And the biggest thing I always tell people is you got to have your business formatted correctly. Making sure your business is registered with the state that you're going to. If you're going to foreign file it, that means that if you started a business in one state and you're going to operate in another state, you have to foreign file that, knowing what that means. Making sure you have your business license if you're going to be a storefront, if you're not an online business, if you're going to sell merchandise, if you're going to sell clothes, making sure you have all the proper documents that you need to make sure you're good. Make sure you have your business bank account. Make sure you have all your little, you know, you just got to make sure you got all your shit in order because this is the preliminary stuff, all right? So I seen someone else say this, and I'm only quoting it because this is what I heard her say, and she's, I forgot the young lady's name, but I know she made a really great point. A lot of us got to come into these situations when we're starting businesses or starting to make moves. You have to treat it just like Walmart. You have to treat it just like Louis Vuitton and treat it just like Amazon, the major corporations, because at some point they were small businesses just like us. Every small business starts in a dorm room, in an apartment complex, in an apartment building. You know what I'm saying? It all starts somewhere, but you have to run your business just like them if you want to get to the billions.
That's sauce right there.
That's real shit, though.
That's sauce, though.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what everybody want to know is, and personally I want to know because I had the chance of recording him. He was like my first. It's crazy. I just thought about this just now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this was the first artist that really I posted on my Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Jacquees. So I was working at Patchwork, and like I didn't really know, me moving out here from Florida, I didn't really know like my older brother followed Wayne and them. So like I kind of started hearing about Jacquees. So we actually worked in the small room at Patchwork, 1019. Yeah, if you've been to Patchwork, you know about 1019.
Okay.
So I was just moving up here, and I was telling my boy Oz, I'm like, man, I think I'm gonna get a picture with this dude, because you know what I'm saying? Because you know, like you gotta market yourself, you gotta sell yourself. Yo, this is who I'm working with. So I want to know. I know y'all got the 5 song out right now called Wi-Fi. If you haven't heard, go check out that Nick Lavelle and Jacquees Wi-Fi. It's crazy. Video out right now everywhere. Yep. Apple Music everywhere. But I want to know, how did that relationship start? And how did you keep that relationship going? Because I know a lot of times they meet people and don't know how to make themselves, like they don't know how to make the business make sense. So I'm just curious myself of like how y'all met and how you kept that relationship. And you know, how's it going?
Yup. So back in 2016, when I was in college, I had already graduated. So we were still doing events, me and my business partner at the time. He's my best friend, but he's not in that business anymore. But we came up with the idea. I was doing the music and I was growing in Michigan, trying to, get everything moving off the ground. And we came up with the idea we wanted to throw a concert. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it was actually his idea. He wanted to throw a concert. We just didn't know what to do, how to do it. So we was like, who should we get? And it was like, shit. We both was just looking like, I said, yo, I fuck with this nigga named Jacquees. You know what I'm saying? He said, nigga, I fuck with Jacquees. Yeah, I'm hip to him. Like, yeah. I said, I said, how much he cost? We reached out to, I think the link was in his bio at the time. We reached out to him. We found out how much he was cost. We was like, where we gonna do him at? So then we found a theater in our college town, in Kalamazoo, and it was the State Theater. So me being an artist, Reggie was more so like, really, really hands-on, because he had, he was in AK Psi, which is a business fraternity, and he was very, very like business-oriented. He worked for PNC, worked at a Creative Help. He was just so on top of it. So he handled all the business side. So he knew how to draw up contracts. He was the first person that showed me about sponsorship decks and all this. So we got it popping early. I just went and got the money. So I went, I had to
you need some money here, Nick Lavelle.
I had to go get to the pay, because I was like, once he brought all the numbers back, we was like, all right, bet. So we just got to go get this amount of cheese. So we got everything situated, and that was my first time meeting him. Got my picture with him, and I got his manager's contact. And then we was like, the show was a sellout, so we was like, shit, we need to do this again in another city. But we was like, let's take him to Detroit, because at this point we took him to Kalamazoo, which is 2 hours west. Detroit and 2 hours east of Chicago. So we right in the middle. We was like, well, let's take him to Detroit. And, we just kept booking him. Then eventually I kind of veered off on my own and started, building relationships with his team, the dancers, the DJ, his security. And I personally, said, it was so crazy. I was building strong relationships with everybody around him, opposed to him. I could be honest and say, I don't think that he was we were never meant to be, I mean, we're not even to the day, but we were never meant to be like no buddies and shit like that, what I'm saying? We're 2 alpha males, and I'm an artist just like he is, but I do feel like as time went on, I was starting to make moves, and I would be doing a lot of shows that he was on, or I'll be booking him for a lot of shows, or I'll be going on tour with him, just paying it, because he was the only artist, in my opinion, that had a price tag that was affordable, that we could make money off of, and that we can still benefit, whether, through his fan base. And it's like, yo, if I make music that is similar to this artist, I want to tap into that fan base. But I want to tap into all the fan bases of all the artists that make similar music. But he was just the easier artist that made the most sense, because either an artist was too high and we wasn't going to be able to make money back based on what we, our analytics, or the price tag of an artist was too low to where it's like it didn't make sense because it's like it ain't really no big profit margin. So I continue to just, spend money building this relationship because I'm constantly booking these shows and I'm constantly booking these tours and putting this guy on a lot of events. I've spent over $1 million with Jacquees. This is real shit, no cap. I got all the contracts, all the receipts. But
you hear that? Do we need to bring contracts? Your manager, brand new contract. No,
so what's so dope is I made more than $1 million dealing with them.
Jeez.
So I made over $1 million booking Jacquees in the last 7-8 years.
That's crazy.
So that's really,
crazy.
And I obviously, if a nigga spend $1 million, you better be my friend, motherfucker.
Hey, no, but that's what I tell people though. Like before you ask somebody, but that's why I tell people. Like before you ask somebody for something, build a business relationship first.
It could go both ways.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I feel.
I mean, if you do that, it's a double-edged sword. A person can look at you, and I feel like this happened to me. I felt Jacquees seeing that I was spending so much money, and I'm just being 100. This is how I feel. I felt that they when it came to certain shit, niggas was like, I was getting hit with unless I went around, and I really stood on business. Like, look, this is all I got. Mm-hmm. I felt like niggas were trying to get the most out of me every day because I felt like niggas were trying to milk me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, sometimes, say it rubbed me the wrong way because it made me feel like, damn, like, don't look at this like I'm spending money. Like, I'm spending my hard-earned money to put these shows together because, obviously, I want to make money. Mm-hmm. I also want to build my fan base up. And, I want to keep the shit moving. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, don't take advantage of me or don't make me feel like you trying to do me dirty over some cheese. Like, you a millionaire, nigga. Like, nigga, we out here trying to get it.
I mean, my boy, you come in here, bust down.
But I'm saying,
Nick Lavelle
chain.
This
wasn't like this 7 years ago. I worked hard to get to this. Respect. It's like, I paid my dues. So what happened was when it came to me getting, like, the feature, niggas was trying to whack me upside the head for the feature. And I was like, hell no. That's so fucked up.
I done made over $1 million.
At that time I was about a quarter in.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's still a lot, goddamn it. Yeah. But I'm like, damn, I spent $250,000 this nigga. Like, I get it. Like, it's not like I gave him that. Like, this is what was invested and in return I was making money as well. But when I packaged the tour together, because I had to get manipulative. I said, y'all want to play these games? Y'all fuck with the road. I'm from the city. I'm from Detroit. Nigga. So I
don't fuck with niggas from Detroit.
Yeah. So I told them when they had told me how much the feature price was, at that time I said, you know what? I don't feel like he's worth that number at this moment. Respectfully, because this is Jacquees at a state where he's not as in demand.
How much
as
he charge you for the feature?
I don't even want to say it.
Come on, man. This for the city, man. You giving people sauce.
No, but the thing is,
okay. Was it more
like
than you booked him for? Or nah, it wasn't like it was.
I think it was more than what I booked him for.
Oh my god!
And that's why I was tight because I said, "What? Just give me the show, man. Fuck the beach." But what I did was I was able to package the whole deal because I felt like, you know what, he hasn't been on tour because I study all my favorite artists. You know what I'm saying? He is an artist that I look at as a favorite artist. It is what it is. No shade. It is what it is. So when I presented the opportunity for me to put them on a tour, I said, yo, I'll book all the venues. I'll pay for all the venues. I'll give y'all this amount of money. And I will, I'll provide the marketing, promotion, and all that in exchange for allowing me to be the direct support for the tour. Also allowing me to get a feature video clearance, primary artist tagging rights, shit like that. Mm-hmm. And they went for it. They liked it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you do it. You package it together because it's like, all right, cool. Let's put all this together, you know what I mean? And we make it make sense because it's not hurting you by doing a record with a nigga that's already built a relationship with, that you subconsciously have a relationship with. Now, on that tour, that's where we got closer. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then after the tour, just the constant support from him, you know what I'm saying? Him seeing it and actually, because I think a lot of times, for years, I don't think he knew it was me behind a lot of the shit. Mm-hmm. He'll just see me on the shows, but he didn't know it was me that was putting it together.
Yeah.
So then he found out on the tour. He said, wait a minute, hold on. He said, Nick put this shit together? He said, yo, True Colors is Nick Lavelle, all right? That's him.
Yeah.
He just lets the world think true colors is something else, and he hides behind it. Not hide, but he allows the company to do what it do. But he said, nigga, he's the nigga. He the one to put nigga all this money up. He the one that came up with all this. He hired all us. He paid all us. We work for him. and he's like, that right there, I think that was the switch where he was like, oh, that's hard.
That's hard.
Like,
he probably would never try to tax you that much if we would have known.
Hell, I think he would have tried to tax you for more.
You know what I'm saying? That's why, hey, you know, sometimes you gotta come in humble. You want to come in with the change. So I come in and looking, bro, I ain't got it.
No, and I think that's another thing. And that's something we talked about with another person I spoke with. It's like, you gotta pick and choose which lane. I know when I remember, so I got a homeboy. This he ain't like this no more. But niggas used to like act like niggas ain't have it. Like, oh, I'm fucked up to get women to give niggas cheese. Just on some straight male gigolo type shit. Fucked up. You feel me? Yeah. I tried that shit. I just couldn't do it. This was also years ago. So I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, you know, you go to people and you just it's just not me. And it's like, I tried to do it one time, but I had jewelry on and I had money. And girlie like, why you flexing this? I said, you know what? You're right. I'm done with this. This ain't me. Because I would rather, you have to pick and choose. Either you're going to be out here looking homeless, looking broke. Not looking broke, but looking like you don't need help, or looking like you need help and you can live that life. Or you can live the life where it looks like, well, like he doing good for himself. Yeah. And I said, you know what? I would rather go that route. I would rather look like I'm doing good for myself, so no one. But it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
People really are intimidated by me. They're intimidated by my stature. They're intimidated by my approach. I don't do nothing crazy. Like, my demeanor makes people feel like, ooh, I don't like
confident.
Yeah, and confidence, it offends people that are insecure, and it's so unfortunate because I lose out on help that I actually need because people don't think that I need it. They don't think like, oh, I'm gonna put him in this position because they see me doing so much that the opportunities don't come to me because they feel like, oh, well, he don't need it. We're gonna give these opportunities to somebody that they think need it, and deep down inside, I do need them motherfuckers. Or I would love to have those same opportunities. But it's unfortunate, but this is the life, you know, we chose when it comes to entertainment, you know. Now, on the other side of it, certain shit gets you the looks. And people do, you know what I'm saying? I be in airport, all my jewelry on, you know, certain people, oh, you skip the line, or, oh, yeah, I'm about to get you, push you straight through. You know, it's just certain, like, it's just the way we are.
Atmospheres.
Certain atmospheres, this shit is very beneficial. You go somewhere, all your jewelry on that, what you do? Who is you? Oh, can we tell? I'm going to take a picture just in case you is famous.
For sure.
Yeah, so, you know.
Well, man, I appreciate you for taking the time. Sit down, man. Give us some sauce to the city, man. Let the people know where they can follow you on all platforms.
Yeah, yo, it's your boy Nick Lavelle, a.k.a. Mr. Howell. All right? You can follow me on all social media platforms at It's Nick Lavelle 1. Make sure you tap in with me on all music, all podcast interviews, man. Make sure you tap in with the sauce. We just dropped the dog interview. And new movie on the way, too, called Homecoming. So, yeah, I'm doing everything.
That's tough.
Piped up.
All right, gang.
All right, baby.
Let's go.
Rappy!